Hello, all, greetings. This is Gilles Mortier. I am called to come and say hello, to wish you a good day. We are getting ready for this new moon in Sagittarius. New moons are really opportunities for new beginnings. We have 13 of them every year. So it is good to prepare. There is 3 days before, 3 days after for the new moon in terms of astrological influence. It's good to, if you want to release certain things, to do a ceremony, to organize a ceremony. Of course, ceremony usually implies more than one person, but if you do not have anyone, invite your guides to be in the ceremony with you. A ceremony to release all the fears, all the doubts, all the anything that all the toxins, anything that is the limited beliefs, anything that can prevent you from experiencing that freedom can be released. And we are getting ready to move. We are moving from the year of the dog in Chinese astrology, which was not as easy as it could be, but mostly for dragons and dragon monkeys and mouse, but. We're moving into the year of the pig, and the year of the pig is the year of abundance. So let us get ready for this amazing abundance in 2019. I'm going to come back to what will be required at some point for the political, economical world to find stability and prosperity. For those things are important, although it's only my point of view. There was a philosopher named René Descartes that says we can agree on a lot of things that are common sense once we find them. Like a sunset is beautiful, a rose is beautiful. Anybody that does not recognize that is a marginal. It means he's trying to oppose something, but it's not normal. Certain things we have to be able to come to common agreement, and that is common sense. First, I'm going to pull a few cards. And I hope you'll find this message interesting. It's just food for thought, reflection, things we're going to need to think about. So the past is success. We have the success is already achieved. Now we're in potentiality. We need to manifest that success, and the success will manifest all by itself. There is nothing that needs to be done once we have done what we need to do inside. And what's coming up in the future is work. I know I have a project that is coming aligned that will require my attention for the next 10, 15 years, but it's gonna fill me with joy. And for life, we want to be free to love, free to share, free to create, free to have fun, free to travel. We want to create all those spaces for ourselves. We deserve to be free. What we're working on is humility. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is about being humble, to receive things with humility, to let go of all forms of arrogance and ego. We're working on that. And what is coming up next is destiny. There is no escape. Our destiny is far more bright than anything we could imagine. So we want to embrace it and live within that each and every moment. I wanted to give an energetic exercise for those. Sometimes we are stuck in traffic. So instead of being nervous and tense and say, I'm getting late and everything, is to move yourself in the place of the now, and to imagine and vision a river that goes through you. A river, and so this river, you visualize it, you see it flows, and it flows all the way to the place you want to go. So that will help assist the flow of the circulation to close and to fluidify itself. While at the same time, this energy that you project before you will affect positively all the people that are stuck in traffic in front of you. And in the third advantage to that is once you are in this river of light, love, and this liquid light energy of love, there is no more rush, and you are so well, and then. Oh, well, we have to, now there is no more traffic, so we have to go. So you follow that. But it's always good to be focused on driving and not to be distracted. It is important. It's something that we do. We want to, it's just an idea that crossed my mind. I thought to share it. I'm going to pull one more card from the archangels. It is the Emperor. Why wonderful. Stability and efficiency. Take a situation in charge. Ambitious project. So it's about being the master of our life. There is so much that we will handle everything with trust that you will, whatever your soul plan, you to become the emperor of your life, you will, everything will be fine. It's to let go of all fear, all doubts, and to move into faith and trust that whatever's before us is really what the great opportunities will be there. The painting behind me is about the 7 main chakra of the human body. I showed it the other day, but it wasn't finished. I put another coat around the chakra of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, and on top of it I use gold. I unified the painting. I think it is quite good now. I don't think I'm going to want to add anything to it. Sometimes in painting I'm stuck, so I have to use either black red, or gold. Those three colors will definitely change everything in the painting and create new dynamism. Those are little tricks. Some colors work. So I wanted to say that to speak of certain things that are more spiritual, but and more material and spiritual. For those things are both of interest to me. First is that God is the only free will being. In all the universe, God is only one that has total free will. He's only limited because that's the limitation he wants to apply upon himself. He's limited by volition. But everybody else, we're working within the realm of choice. And the most important choice is within moral, within the ethics, to understand how ethical we are in relationship to all the aspects of our life. And so it is good to raise our standards, to understand the win-win situation, not to always take into account that our actions do not hurt anyone. Also when I say that paradise, I speak often about paradise. I don't know all that much. I know my own origin, where I live, this valley, and where we are as a spirit beings. I've been shown the temple of the earth on peripheral paradise. Our planet has our own shrine, our own temple there. It's a magnificent temple, eternal temple. But it's very young. There's so much that will be coming there. And also I've been shown the particles, the matter of paradise. They are like little cubes, but they're so small they will never discover that unless we're shown. But they're very practical. They're quite marvelous, but they're so small. And then the central union, those particles only exist on paradise. Then there is the matter of the central universe and the dark gravity bodies, and then in the universe there are spiritual matter, morancial matter, which is light matter, and physical matter. For all beings live on physical matter, whether we are beings of matter, beings of light, or spirit beings. For material beings lives on physical matter. Light beings live on a morancial matter, and then spirit beings live on spiritual matter, but those things are material. Spirit don't live in nebulas or clouds. If we represent angels in the clouds, it's because they are cities of light that are invisible, that live in the upper atmosphere, not in the upper atmosphere, but at a certain level, and they have the power to go up and down, and so that's what a lot of the celestial intelligence live in those cities of light. They will eventually come down when we are ready. And so there is three kinds of matter: material, morancial, and spiritual. Then there is Avona matter that I'm still looking into discovering all this central universe to remember that, for there are 1 billion perfect worlds that are all unique and different, and so that will be for the future. I will come to take my time to discover each of those things. For now, I want to reconnect to my source, to my Paradise Father. Paradise is not a creator; it is the origin and destiny of all being, but it only responds to the will of God. It does not create anything, and it is not conscious as we could consider it conscious. It is an absolute residence of an absolute beings, and so it is very, very different than anything we can imagine in time. But it is our destiny to return there. And there will be marvels to be discovered along the way. And as we find that, the more I integrate this energy, the more wonders and marvels I'm coming to discover. What we seek in matter energy, everything is made of matter, and matter is energy. So there's a lot of energy that is invisible and energies that is visible. But there is pre-manifesting stage of energy is really where we're going to be able to discover all kinds of new science. For understanding the magic science is the understanding of the law of one, the law of God. For when we understand that, we are able to create those things that would be impossible, or make the impossible possible, because it is where religion, science, and philosophy meet. It's the point of this point of now, the point of creation. And so basically what we seek in society, I want to discuss the idea is that we cannot give something we do not have. If I have money and I decide to sell the Great Wall of China to a group of investors, it is not mine to sell. Same thing for anything else. So in many sense, I'm not blaming, pointing. It's part of the program, but we have to understand that at some point when the central banking system has decided to remove themselves from the gold standard, it became an illusion, a total illusion. They have no right to all those debt do not exist. They don't have the asset to create that. So we're gonna have to do a re-evaluation and return to the gold standard or platinum or whatever, something we're gonna decide. There is already reserves of gold that will guarantee a a new group of currencies that will be backed out by gold, and the banks that will issue those monies will have the assets, and those will be real money. So there is a whole process of transference of energy. To return to a system, we're going to have to close all the speculative accounts and all the shadow accounts, everything with those illusions that were created by people and so they created all this like billions, trillions, quadrillions, quintillions, and they have no limit, but they have nothing to back out this. You understand? Those are really easy to common sense, but it's not easy to come out of this. There is a plan. You have to work with the plan, and there are many people that are working on many levels, and every organization that are actually working already in this transition when the time will come. In essence, democracy was invented by the Greeks, Pericles, mostly, as far as I know, and it was a representative government. It means there was a ruler, but the government, the people were represented by how do you say in English? By the state representatives, for instance, and so it's a representative government. And now there's this really evil word called populists. Those people, the politicians they want to represent the people, and so those are demonized. But if the politicians do not represent the people, who are they representing? If they're not working for the people, who are they working for? So those are questions that are going to be coming up. In many senses, Republic and democracy is two different, very, very different concepts. We are all working toward in a system. We have pretty much agreed that we're working in a republican, in democratic republics, or monarchy, representative monarchies, which works really well, probably even better than most. Plato is the one that really explained all that. In many sense, the democracy is everybody's got the same right. There is nothing we can do. We all have the same right. But in a republic, there is a meritocracy. You have to create something. You have to contribute, and so there is a certain idea of meritocracy to achieve certain things. So in many sense, I am 60% Republican and 40% Democrat. I do believe more in Republic, I'm Platonician, than in democracy. Yet there's many things we have to be Democrat about, but there are certain things we need. If you want more, you have to produce more. And so I'm always locate myself on the center right, but in many sense it has to be a politics that is all inclusive, and in the new future, the new politics that will be applying in the earth once we get rid of all the shadow governments will be a politics that will be all inclusive of all social classes, and will not reject anybody, and will be able to integrate. The problem is whatever you do in reforming, you create a reform that helps, but then it creates a dysfunction because so it creates a new disorder. So it's something that needs to be aligned very progressively until the point we have established enough common rules where we can live in total prosperity. It will take a little while, but it goes through. It's a balancing act. Always, it's just a matter of balancing act. Well, I wanted to finally just one idea about. I don't know, did I pull a card with that? No, I didn't. I'm going to pull more cards about the Brexit. There was one idea would be to I don't know if they're willing or we are ready to do that. Is to offer the Northern Ireland its freedom, so it can choose to become an independent state or reunite with Ireland. At which point, most of their problem would be solved. For Ireland is not a United Kingdom, but in many sense Ireland is Ireland is Ireland and England is England. But let's see. I'm sure they will find a way to resolve their problems. Every problem has solutions. When it said money, it's not to be sanctified, which money is not God. It's a tool. It's neither good or bad. It is a tool that we use to it's an energy. It's a tool. We want to love money. Money loves us. It has to be abundant in our life. It has to abundantly flow in and out. But it's not something to be sanctified. It is not the goal. It's not to be to die the richest person in the world. Nobody takes that along with them on the upper plane. The only thing you take is the lessons that you've learned during your life, your soul progress. So it is good to be abundant, to be rich, but it is not the goal, the ultimate goal of existence, which is in many sense some I see there is a lot of that going on. for what we think is quality of life. It is not. It is freedom. It is quality of life. It is inspiration. It is creative innovation. It is a better understanding how to restore the ecology. And so those are just ideas I thought I shared today. Of course, everybody's got his own point of view, and every point of view is important. The idea is to balance out, to find the best solution in relationship to all the parties involved. Just expressing certain idea to give direction in relation to what I feel, I sense. And so I'm gonna, in a sense, when science and philosophy merge, we discover this magic science. We find the fifth dimension. It is the return of God. It is the connectedness, the connection to the eternal life, the eternal source of life. And so this is really what we're working towards, and that is the only thing we'll find at the end of the road is happiness, joy, and freedom. So trust that, know that, embody that, and bring that love into the world. So the highest wisdom for us today is Atlantis, is reconnecting to those deep memories of this advanced civilization where we were living in. It was kind of heavenly at this time. What we need to understand is finance. So by liberating our finance, we find new level of freedom. We'll be fully creative. We'll be fully. So it is about reconnecting to the abundance of money. To see money as a flow that comes from the source of all that is, as all things come from God, and to realize that there is always more where that comes from if it comes from God. So it's about trusting to be able to have a flow that is to remove the blockage from money from coming in or going out. This has to be what we need to do is to be the writer or the scribe, to take notes. Personally, I have this book to write about the Earth plane. For I wrote a book about the spiritual ascension and the multidimensional nature of who we are. But I do feel the necessity to write a book to express certain ideas about our society and really the direction we need to take. And the idea is to the tree. The outcome will be the tree, the growth. We'll be growing. We are growing each and every day. So let us enjoy that. Let us get ready for this new year of the year of the pig, and there will be an amazing, very very powerful download of energy on the winter solstice. So that will be quite something, I'm sure. I'm going to finish the song. Here in France, we start celebrating Christmas on December 1st. It's like Christmas everywhere. It's Christmas. Let's buy, let's sell. And so it's not a criticism. It's just something that's tradition. For me, I've been detached from all those things for a long time. For Christmas is every day. I want to say, for those who believe in Santa Claus, I've met Santa Claus. He's a real being that lives in the astral plane. He used to be physical being, but he was so kind, and so he was elevated, and now he's serving in terms not like giving present to children down here, but in the imagination of children. But if you have any needs or necessity or things you want more into your life, I would recommend you ask the universe or you ask God. It is far more lucid to ask God for what you need than to ask an astral entity. No matter how well-be or benevolent this person may be, may not have the power to bring you what you want when your source, your creator, does have the power to bring you that. Well, I'm going to finish with a song. It's called The War Is Over, John Lennon. And so this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year's over, a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas, I hope you have fun, the near and the dear ones, the old and the young. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one, without any fear. And so this is Christmas, for weak and for strong, for rich and the poor ones, the road is so long. And so happy Christmas, for black and for white, for yellow and red ones, let's stop all the fight. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one, without any fear. And so this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year's over, a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas. We hope you have fun, the near and the dear one, the old and the young. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. The war is over if you want it. The war is over now. So I'm sure he wrote this song a little bit after Christmas because the new war just begun, so he must have wrote it in January. But in a sense, it's in everything there was a lot of people that have been trying to inspire the idea and understanding that peace is far more valuable than war. War costs a lot of money, costs a lot of damages, and so no matter how much commercial interest there are between all those wars that are being fought for the corporation, I do believe the people will awaken and will choose soon to find leaders that are more aligned towards a peaceful resolution to all those things. Well, I hope this video was interesting for you. I'm finished with gospel. It's just a few words of gospel. And it goes, oh, happy days, oh, happy days, when Jesus washed, yes, when he washed our sins away. Oh, happy days, oh, happy days. So let us rejoice. I wanted to tune into this rejoicing, finding joy, finding freedom, to allow all the programs to run their course. And as we tune into that joy, to that inner guidance, perfection, we'll see that things are moving towards that slowly, sometimes faster all the time. But for us, we have the only responsibility is to resolve the puzzle of our creation within ourselves. And from there, all things will become possible. I send you my love and blessing, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.